breaking news.
For the first time in history, the Pope of the Roman Catholic Church is from the United States. Cardinal Robert Prevost was elected the new Pope today. He is now Pope Leo XIV.
Now, he's originally from Chicago, but he is considered a faith leader of the world. He was ordained in Rome and spent 20 years serving in Peru. He's 69 years old and the first North American Pope in the 2,000-year history of the Catholic Church. Pope Leo stepped onto the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica to the cheers of a huge crowd. He is considered a centrist, but more progressive on many social issues. Like Francis, he has a history of embracing often marginalized groups and is seen as a champion of migrants and the poor. Cardinal Sean O'Malley, the former Archbishop of Boston, was in that huge crowd today. His retirement was accepted by Pope Francis. At 80, O'Malley was too old to vote in the conclave. When that white smoke appeared from the Sistine Chapel chimney this afternoon, you see it right here, people ran through the streets of Rome to St. Peter's Square to witness the announcement and to see the new Pope. It is always a moment of great anticipation. CBS's Bradley Blackburn was also there in that sea of people. He joins us live from the Vatican tonight. Bradley?
The joy here at the Vatican was universal. 100,000 people gathered in and around St. Peter's Square as we watched a 69-year-old American become the leader of a church with 2,000 years of history. This conclave was decided in just 2 days when the world got the news with that puff of white smoke.
White smoke billowed from the Sistine Chapel, a signal the cardinals had elected a new pope. The crowd in St. Peter's Square erupted in cheers, then waited in suspense for the announcement.
Habemus Papam.
Habemus Papam, we have a pope, and the world's first look at the new pontiff. Emerging from St. Peter's Basilica, Robert Prevost becomes the first American pope in history, taking the name Leo XIV. His first words, peace be with you all.
La pace sia con tutti voi.
Prevost is seen as a progressive on many social issues. Overall, he's viewed as a centrist. Like Pope Francis, Prevost has spent time embracing marginalized groups like the poor. He has dual citizenship between the U.S. and Peru, where he served for years.
This is an extraordinary moment for American Catholics, seeing Leo XIV on the balcony, the first pope born in the United States, who is now spiritual leader for nearly 1.5 billion people.
He's the least American. I mean, that's, I think, what made him electable.
As crowds rushed into the square, a surge of emotion caught up with Tammy Harper.
It's just everything.
Once in a lifetime.
It is a once in a lifetime, and
for us to be here in this moment.
Just so blessed and grateful.
For the crowds watching and waiting, it was a once-in-a-lifetime thrill. What are you hoping for in the man that comes out on that balcony?
Peace, kindness, humanity.
In the seconds before the white smoke, a baby bird tested its legs next to the chimney, a classic symbol of rebirth as the Catholic Church begins a new chapter.
And here in Rome, the new pope is also known as the Latin Yankee. He is an American, but undoubtedly a man of the world. And now the whole globe is watching where he will lead this church. At the Vatican, I'm Bradley Blackburn. Back to you.
Bradley, thank you. People we've spoken with say they are proud and they are filled with hope because of this new pope.
Proud that he's an American and hopeful that he will walk in the footsteps of Pope Francis. WBZ's Tiffany Chan joins us live at the Cathedral of the Holy Cross tonight. And Tiffany, you've been talking with people about the new pope.
Courtney, we've been hearing a lot of joy, excitement, and optimism from parishioners here at the Cathedral of the Holy Cross in Boston. You know, having that similarity and upbringing and that American point of view, parishioners here are excited about this next chapter of the church.
There was a lot of buzz inside, so starting to set things up and prepare and, you know, getting the bells ready.
The yellow bunting drapes over the front doors of the Cathedral of the Holy Cross in Boston, celebrating Cardinal Robert Prevost, the first American-born pontiff chosen to lead the Catholic Church.
I'm just astonished that actually they've chosen an American pope. I wasn't expecting this at all. It's really unbelievable.
Being from America, this is definitely a special place, so therefore he has some good insight and different points of view. So.
Cardinal Prevost, who will go by Pope Leo XIV, greeted the faithful in St. Peter's Square, the eyes of the world on that balcony.
I'm just kind of looking forward to seeing how he picks up the responsibility and delivers it to his flock.
I am most hoping that the humility and the kindness and the generosity of the former Pope is also imbibed in this new Pope.
John Guinan traveled from Massachusetts to Vatican City and ended up witnessing history.
It's an incredibly exciting moment. Like I said, people just pouring into St. Peter's Square. Like I said, it's just been cheering, it's just been joy, and it seems like people are pretty overwhelmed.
And there's significance down to the very name of Leo. Pope Leo XIII from the 1800s, his mission was social justice. So with Pope Leo XIV, you can see much of that legacy carrying on. Live in Boston, I'm Tiffany Chan, WBZ News.
Tiffany, thank you. Now, Pope Leo is considered an experienced leader and knows the intricacies of the Vatican well.
But he has also spent a fair amount of his career in missionary work and as a parish priest. Our team coverage continues now with WBZ's Mike Sullivan live in Braintree. Mike, the Archbishop of Boston is expecting a very smooth transition from Francis to Leo.
We spoke with him today and he seems excited and hopeful, and watched it today at the Archdiocese as well as students here at Archbishop William High School, and they took that in live. It's a moment that the Archbishop of Boston calls a happy one. It's a moment heard around the world and certainly here in Boston. His historic moment was watched on screens, big and small.
Our theology class that we take, it was kind of near the end of the day. We were watching the live stream on YouTube.
I was surprised that it was an American.
I think shock's probably too strong a word.
Boston Archbishop Richard Henning was watching at the Archdiocese as Pope Leo addressed the masses at St. Peter's Basilica.
I think his remarks made it clear that he, honors and reveres Pope Francis and Pope Francis's, style of ministry. So that was a beautiful thing.
Boston's Archbishop admits he's never met the new Pope, but Father Mark Francis has. The two were classmates at the Catholic Theological Union in Chicago and worked together in Rome in the 2000s.
He's not a showboat. He is very calm, but extremely intelligent and extremely compassionate.
Now his words will lead more than 1 billion Catholics around the world.
Every generation has to kind of address the needs of its moment, right? And one of the key needs of our moment is ongoing healing.
Well, now that the world has a new name for the Pope, next is getting to know them, with the Archbishop of Boston saying he isn't expecting a complete 180 from Pope Francis, but rather some continuity. Live in Braintree, I'm Mike Sullivan, WBZ News.
All right.